Hello everyone, my name is Shannon. I'll be your safari guide today here for the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. There's an animal spotting guide above your heads you could use to help you identify some of the creatures you might see out here today. I can't promise that we'll get to see all of them, but we usually get pretty lucky. Now just a couple of quick reminders before we begin. We do want to make sure everybody remains seated at all times, keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside of the vehicle. That is for your safety and the animal safety as well. Also make sure no calling out to any of the animals, no whistling, kissing noises, snapping, clapping, things like that. These are wild animals out here. They are not like your pets at home, so they won't respond to any of those sounds. And lastly, it is absolutely required for everybody to keep their face coverings on at all times, fully covering your nose, mouth, and chin the entire time we are together. And I will let you know the less I have to remind you about that, the better our safari experience will be. So I do thank you in advance for your cooperation. Now we just entered into the Little Ituri Forest. This forest is home to many shy, reclusive animals that rely on camouflage to help protect themselves from predators. So sometimes they can be a little bit tricky to find. But we can see moving around over on the right-hand side, there is an okapi over there, so we're going to come around this bend and get a chance to see it a bit better. Now most people think that the okapi is related to a zebra because of the fact that it has stripes like one. But it's actually the only known relative of the giraffe. You can see it out on the right-hand side there.
Okay.
Now, we know that it's related to the giraffe because they have a similar skull structure and they both have a long prehensile tongue. That tongue of theirs is long enough to lick its own eyeball.
Ew.
We're going to make our way down to the watering hole here. Can already see a black rhinoceros right at the edge of the watering hole. Now there are less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the world today, and that is due to poaching for their horns. Some cultures believe that they have medicinal values, but they're actually just made out of keratin, which is the same thing our fingernails are made out of, so it is really unfortunate that that's happening. Now the black rhino will weigh around 3,000 pounds, and they can charge up to about 35 miles per hour. Out on the right-hand side, we're going to find some bongos. Now, bongos, they are nicknamed the ghost of the forest because they are so rarely seen. They're going to be the burnt orange colored ones. They're going to be the heaviest of the forest antelope, weighing about 900 pounds full grown, and both male and female will have horns. Now, the lighter tan-colored antelope, those are the greater kudu. They're going to be the second tallest out of all the antelope, reaching about 55 inches at the shoulder. We know that those kudu are female because they do not have any horns. Only the males will have horns. And left-hand side, you're going to find a pair of saddle-built stork. They're actually crouched down right now. Those birds are reaching around 5 feet in height, and they have about a 9-foot wingspan, and that is roughly the size of the canopy that's above your heads right now. Really cool thing about them, you're able to tell male and female apart just based on the color of their eyes. So males will always have brown eyes, and females will always have yellow eyes. Our next stop is going to be down to the Safi River, searching for some aquatic animals down here. Just definitely want to keep our eyes at the water. You can reference your animal spotting guide, see what our possible options are. And friends, just a reminder, we do have to make sure those face coverings are fully on, fully covering your nose, mouth, and chin for me the entire time, please, and thank you. On the left-hand side, you're going to find some Nile hippopotamus out over there. Hippos, they will spend the majority of their day in the water to protect their skin from the sun, and they can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. When a hippo is first born, they're already around 85 pounds. They're going to reach 5,500 pounds full grown. You can also take a look at the pink-back pelican here. They have been working very hard gathering all of the sticks to build the nest you can see on the island there. And both male and female will take care of the nest and the eggs, and they are colonial nesters. So that means they're going to nest in very large groups of birds, sometimes up to about 500 pairs of birds per group. They also get their name from the pink coloration they get during mating season. It's their skin that will turn pink, not their feathers, so it's a very light pink color. Take a look out on the left-hand side. You're going to find some Nile crocodiles out over there.
Oh,
now, those crocodiles are reaching around 14 to 18 feet in length, full grown, and they can live for more than 40 years old. Their jaws are so powerful, they're able to take down prey much larger than themselves, like zebra and wildebeest, but they're also delicate enough to hold their eggs in their mouths and roll them around a bit to help hatch the baby crocodiles. Alright, we are coming up on a change of scenery now as we start to make our way out of the forest and into the savanna. So while those forest animals relied on camouflage to help protect themselves from predators, the animals in the savanna will rely on their speed and agility. And another way to tell we're headed into the savanna is by the tree coming up over on the right-hand side here. This is the baobab tree. Now, the baobab tree can go leafless for about 9 months out of the year in order to conserve water. They get the nickname upside-down tree because of the fact that those branches look more like roots. That great big trunk of theirs will hold thousands of gallons of water inside of it, and that is very important to the savanna ecosystem. Now, the savanna is also very influenced by the animals that live here. So if we take a look out on the left-hand side at all of the trees, you can see all those leaves pretty much start at the same height. You can make a nice line going right across. Now, that is because that's as high as a giraffe can reach. The giraffe do spend the majority of their day eating, and they would eat that entire tree if they could. So like I said, these animals will influence the savanna. The giraffe are going to prune the underside of trees, antelope will mow the grasses, and larger animals like elephants will knock trees down using them as scratching post. Now we can already see these giraffe out over here doing what giraffe do best, which is eating. So they spend the majority of their day eating. They are dedicating about 20 hours a day just for eating. And they only need about 30 minutes of sleep a day. Wow. They won't even take that 30 minutes all at once, though. They're going to have short micro naps, as they're called, that are only a few minutes long at a time. They will typically sleep standing up as a way to better protect themselves from predators. Now, really exciting out over here on the right, we have the tallest giraffe on the reserve and the smallest giraffe on the reserve. You can see that baby giraffe hanging out there. There are currently 2 baby giraffe on the reserve. They are both just a couple of months old, and they are both baby girls. Their names are Maple and Zella. And we can see the largest giraffe here. His name is George. And we can see George using his 18-inch long prehensile tongue to prune the underside of trees there. Now, if we take a look out on the left-hand side, we're going to get a great look at the African wild dogs. Now, they are different from hyenas, but they're still one of the best predators out here. They have an 80% success rate when it comes to hunting. That is higher than lions. Now, that's because they're going to chase their prey as a pack and hunt them down until they drop and tire from exhaustion. They also get the nickname painted dogs because of their coats. That's how they're able to recognize one another. And they won't communicate with barking like regular dogs. They're going to communicate with a high-pitched chirping noise that kind of sounds just like a squeaky toy. Now we are coming in between quite a few termite mounds over here. The termite mounds, they are made out of dirt, dung, and saliva. They're going to bake in the hot sun all day and get as hard as concrete. Once they've broken down a little bit, smaller animals like the antelope can jump on top of them and use them as a lookout over the savanna. Make sure that no predators sneak up on them while they are sleeping. We also know that these giraffe out over here, they are Maasai giraffe. We know that because of the way that their spots look. They're kind of rough around the edges, look like little jigsaw puzzle pieces. And each giraffe will have their own unique pattern, just like how people have their own unique fingerprint. So for anybody who has been over to Animal Kingdom Lodge or plan on going over there, you will find the reticulated giraffe over there, so their spots do look a little bit different. We headed by these white-bearded wildebeest next. The wildebeest, they are extremely herd-oriented. About 1.5 million of them will migrate 1,000 miles over the savanna each year. As it gets later out at night, they will herd closer together. They are a safety in numbers kind of group. Now at night they'll even select a few special lookout wildebeest to face in different directions around the main herd and make sure that no predators sneak up on them while they are sleeping. We can also take a look at the small little tan white antelope out on the right hand side there. Those are the springbok. They are one of the top 10 fastest animals in the world. They're going to reach around 50 miles per hour, and they can jump about 6 feet high and 13 feet forward at a time, making a big upside down U shape, and it is called pronking when they do that. That's going to be their main way to evade predators. And we're going to go ahead and make our way down to these fallen down trees here, and that is a good sign that we are headed toward some elephant territory. And I can already see an African elephant that will be out on the right hand side coming up. Playing with the whole branch over there. Left hand side, take a look at those mandrills real quick, and you can see itty bitty baby mandrill on the bottom in between the rocks there. Her name is Ivy. She was literally just born like a week ago, so she is brand new to the reserve. Now, what was I going to say? Mandrills, they are the largest of the monkeys. Males full grown, can weigh around 100 pounds, like that big male up there. His name is Linus. And they have those bright red and blue faces that will become more vibrant as they get excited. They also have pouches on the inside of their cheeks that they will use to store snacks for later.
Oh, we got to see her.
And we're going to try to come around to get a better view of the African elephant. Unfortunately, he just went into a spot that's not the best for viewing. But because we only saw one out over here, it's safe to assume that it is probably a male. A male elephant, once they reach maturity, around 16 years old, they are going to go off from the rest of the herd and be pretty solitary, sometimes forming smaller groups with other males called bachelor herds. Now you can just kind of see the elephant if you look over your shoulder on the right hand side. But we're going to go ahead and make our way down to the red clay pits next, see if we're able to find a few more elephant out over there. Ooh. Now the elephants, they are critically endangered right now, and that is due to a number of reasons, like poaching for their tusk for ivory. They're also dealing with a lot of habitat loss right now due to the mining of coltan. Now coltan is a mineral ore which is found in electronics. So a way that we're all able to help out the elephants is by recycling or donating any old cell phones, laptops, and tablets. That'll really help reduce the need for mining in their homes. These are the red clay pits here. If you take a look on either side of the truck, you will find some tusk marks in that red clay. Now elephants will eat that red clay to get vitamins and minerals that they can't get in their everyday diet. Sort of like how we might take a multivitamin, it's kind of the same idea. And it looks like we're in luck. We will find a few more elephant out on the left-hand side over here. Does appear to be a larger herd as well. Now the elephants, they do live in a matriarch, so it's the eldest female who's in charge of the group. The females tend to be much more social than the males. So typically during the daytime they are going to go off and visit other herds, kind of like hanging out with their friends. But at night they will always come back to their main family herd. So it looks like they have not gone off for the day just yet, and that is good for us. I can also see the elephants fanning their ears quite a bit. Elephants, they have a lot of little blood vessels on the backside of their ears, so they're able to fan their ears and create enough airflow to help regulate their body temperatures, and they are able to lower their body temperature about 10 degrees, which is pretty significant. Ooh, we're gonna come on down to the watering hole here, get a really great look at this elephant. Now another reason why we're we're able to find so many elephant in this area is because of all the other baobab trees around here. During dry season and drought, animals with horns and tusk, they are able to make holes into the baobab tree to get all of that life-saving water out from inside of it. And because of that, the baobab tree will get its third name, which is the Tree of Life. But thankfully, there's no drought right now, so we can see this elephant getting a drink from the watering hole. Head around the greater flamingos here. They are the lightest shade of pink and the tallest of the flamingos. They're going to reach around 4 feet in height. When they first hatch, they are more gray in color. Some of those kind of gray and white ones you see, those are baby greater flamingo. Now, it'll take a little over a year after they hatch until they get to that pink coloration. That's going to come from all of the brine shrimp that they eat. It's high in beta carotene, and it's their legs that will turn pink first before the rest of them. You can see this large mud wallow out on the left here. That is a decent sign we might be able to find a few more rhino in the area. It looks like I see them up on the hill. Now, animals like elephants and rhinos, they both have really sensitive skin, so they're going to roll around in mud and dirt, and it'll act as a natural sunblock for them. Going to help protect their skin from the sun, help keep them cool on hot days, and also help to keep bugs off of them. And we can see a little baby rhino on the hill there on the right-hand side. Now, these are the white rhinoceros. They are larger than the black rhino we saw earlier. That's little baby Ranger. He was born at the end of October. And really exciting news that there are 2 other white rhinoceros on the reserve that are currently pregnant. So that is really exciting news. Now we're going to come around here, see if we can get just a little bit of a better look. There's a cheetah walking around on the left-hand side as well, kind of in between the bushes over there. Oh, there's one really close. But up to you. Get a really good look at baby rhino or the cheetah. Now, if you take a look at the rhino's ears, not so much on mom's there, but on little baby Ranger, you can see a bit better. They got little fuzzy hair surrounding their ears. That's going to help to amplify sound. The rhino had really excellent hearing, really great sense of smell, but not so great of eyesight. They can only see about 10 feet ahead of them, which is why I think it's pretty fitting that a group of, oh, the cheetah's in the tree. Don't see that often. Yeah, but that's why a group of rhino is called a crash. We can see that cheetah up in top of the tree there. Looks like she might be trying to go after something. Now, the cheetah, they are the fastest land mammals. They're going to reach 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. That's as fast as a launch roller coaster. There's a couple more out over here walking around it as well. And it can't keep those speeds up for very long, though, only short sprints at a time. And they're one of the only large cats to do the majority of their hunting during the daytime. Now, that's because they have those black tear-like marks from the inner corners of their eyes down to their mouths, which will help absorb the sunlight and make it a bit easier for them to see during the daytime. They also have that nice long tail of theirs, which will help them keep their balance while they're running at those top speeds. Can already find a male lion on the left-hand side here. Now, lions, they are nocturnal, so they're going to sleep and rest for about 20 hours during the daytime. And it's mostly the females who will go out at night to do the hunting. Male's going to stay back with the rest of the pride to protect them and the territory. Now, during the daytime, a lion's eyesight is just as good as ours. But at night, their eyesight is 6 times better, and that's what makes them such great predators. On our right-hand side here, the small brown animal, that is a bontebok. They have one of the most amazing conservation stories out here. At one point in time, there was only 17 of them left in the world. That was due mostly to hunting for their coats. There was a farmer out in Africa that noticed how little there were out there, so he took the remaining herd in and helped repopulate them and saved those bontebok from extinction. Get another good look at the lion here. Now, the lion are also very loud when it comes to their vocalization, so you are able to hear a lion's roar from about 5 miles away, and that's going to act kind of as a warning for other animals. Let them know not to come near their territory. Looks like we will find some ostrich eggs on the ground here on the right hand side. Now those eggs will weigh around 3 pounds each, and they can withstand a full-grown man standing on top of them without cracking. And we know that because it has to withstand an ostrich sitting on top of them to incubate, and an ostrich will weigh on average about 200 pounds. On the left-hand side, there are a couple of warthogs laying down right in front of the rocks. If you see a furry-looking rock or log, that's probably a warthog. Now, they are the largest burrowing animal. They're going to make a burrow and back themselves into it, so that way their tusks are sticking out to protect themselves from predators. And although they have those short, stubby legs, they are able to run just as fast as the rhino, 35 miles per hour, so they are pretty speedy. We are approaching the warden's post here. And out here, we're going to find some Nigerian dwarf goats. There's a couple of them up on the hill running around. We'll come around to get a better look at them. Now, goats like these, they are very important in Africa. They produce a very sweet milk, which is high in value. The villagers are then able to go ahead and sell the milk for a profit, and it helps them rely less on the nearby wildlife. Now also, as you can see, the goats, they are very small, but they are full grown, so they don't take up a lot of space. They're very easy to manage. Another benefit for the villagers. Overall, those goats are just really important for helping humans and wildlife live nearby each other in harmony. Now folks, this does bring us to the end of our safari tour today, and we are going to head back towards the village. But if there's one thing that I hope you all are able to take away from this journey, just know that there actually is so much you're able to do to help out many of these animals and their habitats. Like I mentioned earlier, recycling your electronics is not only a great way to help out the elephants, but also those mandrills we saw, and even simple recyclings like recycling papers and plastics and bringing reusable bags to the grocery store. It's small actions like that that'll make such a big difference in the world. They are also able to go off into the village and ask how you can help with the Disney Conservation Fund. Right now they are supporting a lot of amazing organizations that are fighting really hard to make sure that all of these animals are around for generations to come. And if you did want to make a donation, Disney will match your donation dollar for dollar. Now folks, here in Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye. It's far too soon and far too final, so instead we will say Kwaherini, and that means to go well. So I'm going to say Kwaherini, everyone. I hope you all have a great rest of your day here at Animal Kingdom. And thank you all so much for joining us at Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Don't forget to have a magical day because you deserve it. Bye, guys.